Last week, my neighbor came by and gifted me 3 huge tubs full of fabric. She's gotten to the point where she can't really sew anymore, and I'm so excited to really take these and turn them into something new. She did have a couple of half-finished projects like this baby blanket here, so I thought I'd go ahead and finish that since mine is due any day now. To finish the blanket, I did need to go out and get some low-loft batting, and I did get some basting adhesive while it was there. I started by laying out the batting as flat as I could get it, and depending on which batting you buy, they do suggest pre-washing the batting because it can shrink in the process. After spraying down the adhesive, I put down the first layer of blanket, trying to make sure that I get it as flat as possible onto that glue. You may have to smooth it out and retry a few times, and that's totally fine. It definitely took me a few tries to get there. Once I had the batting nice and stuck to that first layer, I went and flipped it over, taking what will be the back side of the blanket and laying those together with the right sides of the fabric facing each other. I did try to use a red marker to make it visible, but basically we're going to sew around the borders, leaving an opening big enough that I can flip the blanket inside out. And don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and end of that. Now we're going to trim the corners and edges, so that way when I go to flip it inside out, the corners come out nice and sharp and there's less bulk around the border. When I do go to flip it, you'll see that the right side of the fabric will now be on each side with the batting sandwiched in the middle. To get those corners nice and sharp, I'm going to be using my little poking tool here, just sticking my hand in the opening with it and pushing those corners out with that point. Next, we'll be hand stitching that opening shut to just make that finish nice and clean. Now you could stop here, but it is a personal preference of mine to just go ahead and give a nice little stitch around the edge. This makes the border of the fabric feel more secure to me and just gives it a nicer finish in my opinion. Now he has a blanket he can use for years to come. Thanks for watching.